definitely, definitely. So, first of all, don't keep me in this, remove the spotlight. I would love to see the audience. So वो interaction proper बनता है, right? So just remove me from the spotlight. Yeah. So giving my introduction. So basically, my name is Rishabh Singh, and last year I completed B in the field of electronics from University of Mumbai. And between this 1 year, I scaled my personal branding on LinkedIn from 1,000 followers to 53,000 followers till now. And previously, I was a TEDx co-organizer. I was a Harvard delegate, and then I interviewed tons. I also had my own talk show where I interviewed TEDx speakers, Forbes, Asia 30 to 30, the GirlScript founder of GirlScript, Anubha Maneshwar. So I interviewed her as well, and tons of consultants of Fortune 100 companies as well, like ex-VP of Goldman Sachs and operation head of TCS Mexico. So I keep talking, I keep chatting with them as well. So this was just something which I wanted to start. I wanted to know how they work, what they work, so that this was a part of networking where this entire engagement helped me to build my own brand as well. So this was my journey which I started. So yeah, that's it. So how we gonna take this conference forward? May I know, Surbi? Like it will
Yeah,
be a
so basically what I have given an introduction just before the
okay,
speakers had their basically sessions. So
okay,
in the brochure, you would know that every speaker has their own time slot and everyone has their
agreed.
own workshop slot, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So what I was expecting is that this would be a bit more interactive so
definitely,
that people
definitely.
could basically know how to build their brand on
Yeah,
LinkedIn and how to basically network with people in terms of building their following, building their brand. And since you have already done that, you could give an actual hands on tip to people to use in their day to day.
absolutely,
And I love
absolutely.
the idea of the talk show because that's something which like I had in mind as well in terms of, actually having conversations with people, actually recording those conversations and understanding for people's perspectives because that's something I really like as well. But I feel that when it comes to building your brand on LinkedIn and all that stuff, people feel that you need to have certain amount of posts and it's like every day you have to post or something like that. So maybe you can clear all those misconceptions which people have
Yeah,
and
definitely.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, first of all, I would love to know that from which country you guys are joining. Are you from India? Are you from Ireland or somewhere else? So, in the chat box, may I know what is basically what you are doing? That is one thing, which you can simply write in the chat box, and from which country you are. Let's keep this interactive.
Sorry, I think Rishabh, you're on mute.
So right now I was just taking the picture and I was sending Anubha ma'am. So I after like once in a month I keep chatting with her. So I'm going to tell that I'm addressing you know uh GirlScript Island for the conference. Yeah. So 7 replies. Come on guys, 26 people are there and hardly 27 I'm 7 replies I'm getting from India, BTech, India, India, India. Okay. Most of the people are from India, right? Great, great, amazing. Thanks for the
Excuse me,
response. Yeah, yeah,
Rishabh Singh ji.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
No, actually, greatest difficulty I have repaired my microphone. Yeah, I was facing issues.
Hmm.
You just now described yourself as you are an ETC engineer, no?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
Mumbai University.
yeah.
So, have you done your PG also?
No, no, no. It was just a graduation.
Okay, okay. Which subject did you like in the final year?
Uh, Probably I didn't like my
See,
engineering stuff.
because
Hmm.
uh, okay, okay. Please, sir.
Yeah, so I was more inclined towards management stuff. I was more inclined towards building my brand. So yeah, technical
Okay,
stuff. I don't have any specific subject to be honest. But
okay, okay. No, no
yeah,
problem at all. I'm just
yeah,
asking you like that.
yeah.
What was your final year project?
Final year project
Because
was
I have worked on pick and place robotica.
okay. Regarding final year project, trust me, my friends helped me a lot, and I'm
Okay, okay.
non-technical guy.
No, no.
I'm
Actually, see,
uh,
Rishabh ji,
yeah.
what you are saying is absolutely right. I agree with
Mm,
you.
mm,
In project, first of all, it's a team effort.
yeah,
In final year, I will not say
yeah,
just final year. Even when you are a beginner, even when you are in your second year, third year, because team encourages confidence in every of your group mates. Their
agree.
knowledge, their cognitive skills, their psychomotor skills. So, what is your perception about working in a project work for the future needs? Any idea?
I didn't get your exact point. What you're trying to say. I
What
mean,
is your perception?
hmm.
What is your perception of a teamwork in project for near future needs in any company? You
Obviously,
must be
when it
having some opinion
yeah,
for it.
yeah. Obviously, when it comes to the teamwork, it is super important that you should understand how you have to lead the team. You have
Yes,
to
of
make
course,
sure
of
that
course.
you work on the core competence. Core competence, as
Okay,
in,
okay,
suppose giving you an example, you have some XYZ strength, right? So you work on that, and other part you
okay.
simply go and delegate to other team members, and that's how you unite and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
work with them. Yeah,
yeah. That's what I said. Teamwork. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, and
exactly. Yeah.
okay. And what you're up to right now?
Right now I'm into
Right now means uh,
yeah, right now I'm into personal branding. So I help people to build their brand. I help people to build the entire strategy of
okay,
branding
okay.
and marketing.
It's a type of project only you've seen. It's a type of project only, no?
Not project, to be honest. It's like helping strategizing the branding part of the business, or helping
So,
CXOs to build their own brand.
okay, okay, okay. So you have done any course to branch into
Hi,
this
David.
field,
I
or
think
you
we
are that's
just
your passion?
may take it like one question by everyone. I
Yeah,
mean,
cool.
Okay,
everyone
okay,
can
So
just
okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have one presentation to show
yeah,
also
yeah.
so
I
that
think
you
that'll be great
understand.
if you can share
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
because I know this talk will I'm not sure because the presentation will help you to exactly
yeah.
visualize how networking works, right? So I
I
have
think that's great. Yeah,
presentation. Yeah.
yeah. You can share your screen, I guess.
So do you guys know that how to how to do this? I mean, I know that in the PPT that how to make this slideshow, but not in the PDF. So is that fine, or if you guys know, just do let me know. I can't figure that out. So does anyone know how to do this PDF stuff, or shall I proceed with this only?
Just click on view and see if you can alter it.
Uh,
Or
I
click
think it
on
is
uh,
in properties. You can go to file properties and then
where it is?
the
just
file.
find the top left.
Top left. Okay, home दिख रहा है. I can see the home. Wait,
File, just above home.
wait. Actually, this thing is coming. Give me a second. Let me. Okay.
Maybe even view. I guess view
Yeah,
should
yeah, yeah. I got it. File. Where it is?
Properties.
Properties. Yeah,
just before
got it.
print. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see any.
I think you just go to view, just near file, like you just view.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe here I'll get
Yeah, and just see like
full screen mode. I
yeah,
guess
full screen mode. Yeah, that
this
makes
should
sense.
be the ideal. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Urvi. So, importance of networking for career development. Obviously, somewhere networking will help you to build your brand. It will help you to develop your career as well into your jobs, or whether you are into business, whether you are into freelancing. Everywhere, networking helps a lot. Okay. So let me start with the few. Okay. Yeah. So, as you can see, 95% of people agree that business relations are built through face-to-face meetings. So, in terms of having that conversation, it is very important to build that, to build that relation. So, it's not something where you go directly and you continue with the conversation, right? So, suppose you are connecting with someone and you are directly asking whatever you want, right? Don't go with that flow. You first connect with them. You just start having a gentle conversation in terms of their field. Suppose they are good at marketing or they are good with the technical stuff, right? So you relate something or conversation with that particular subject, okay? So that you just go and approach them as a subject matter. Like they are the expert and you need the guidance. So in that way, try to seek their guidance. That's how you build a relationship. Okay. Don't directly go and simply bang their head with whatever your requirement is there. Just go as a person that you want to learn something and you want to do something and ask related questions related to their field. Okay, so that's how you start building a conversation. Try to have a conversation which is similar and through which you can break the ice, because that is very important. It can be whether they are writing a blog, whether they are writing a LinkedIn post, so you can ask something which is related to that. Okay, so even they will be more interested to have that conversation. Okay, so that's why building that relation is important, and that's why fact you can see, like 90% of people agree that business relations are built through face to face meeting, right? So after when you have this kind of a good relation, then you can convert and you can have a talk. And now Zoom makes everything possible. Whether you are wherever you stay, respective wherever you stay, you can just simply have a Zoom, just like now we are having this conference, right? So in that way, you need to focus on building a genuine relation. Okay, so this will eventually going to help you a lot, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's about for the recruiting stuff, like you want to just now I heard the talk, like I joined 2 to 3 minutes before my talk, so I understood that you were talking of something related to Google, right? So you
Yeah,
first have
yeah.
a good relation with the recruiter, you know have a good relation with recruiter, so that you have that kind of a bond, and once the referral comes, you can ask them to refer you. Okay, so in this way it works. So having a relation, having a building a genuine network is super important, right? So benefits of, okay, wait. Hmm. So benefits of building a strong network. Okay, so this is something on which you need to leverage. So why I'm telling you all these things, so that you start executing that plan, right? Step out of your comfort zone. Career building, eventually it's going to help you with the career building as well. Exchange of ideas, so that you understand. Suppose I'm good with the branding part, or suppose anyone is good with this their marketing part, and now you're connecting with someone who have a 20-30 years exposure on the same field, right? In terms of branding, in terms of career building, so they will help you to uh, you know basically they will help you to sharp your ideas. They will help you to evaluate your ideas. That's going to help you a lot. Okay, so always have some people around you who are having a great exposure related to your field of knowledge, or even if you are into diverse field, you can do that. So basically you will have a diverse idea, like what people are thinking about branding, what a financial guy is going to think about branding, what uh, you know IT or technical guy is going to think about branding. So that helps a lot, and that will help you to eventually strengthen your network or your contacts. So basically now you have some good shot people through which you can take advice, you can help them or something like that. So eventually you will also get some referrals for that, right? So make sure you have that kind of a network. So maybe they can refer you or you can help them. So in that way, building a strong network helps a lot. Just giving you an example, how Surbhi invited me, in terms of first we had a conversation and then we have this kind of a thing that we are going to engage for this event. So in that way, right? Opportunity to learn new business technologies, right? So in that way, you get a lot of exposure. So it can turn into your it can turn for a good opportunity when it comes to your having a business, career development, anything, not just business techniques. It can help you a lot. Suppose if you are having a conversation with some HR people, right? So you understand how they recruit. So that becomes a very important part. Suppose if you are having a conversation with an entrepreneur, so they can tell you what are the things, don'ts and do's of entrepreneurship. So from there you will get to know a lot of things. Suppose you are having a conversation with investors. So from there you're gonna have a conversation with a lot of people. I mean, so you will have a exact idea how investors invest in a startup. So in this way you need to leverage all this part, right? So in the next slides I'm going to brief more about it. Or yeah, one more thing I wanted to have an interaction with this. So what are the other things which you would like to add in this? Like what are the other things you think that networking can help you to to achieve X, Y, Z things? I would love to know if you can just add your point as well from the audience. You can just simply unmute yourself and tell, or else you can just type in the comments in the chat box.
I think it's about knowing other people's stories and learning from that, because
Exactly,
everybody
exactly.
has a different story. And just like Ida's story was very inspirational, we need to know more about people and how they are growing in their own field and how we can learn something from that. Because
Ex-
even one of my managers at
mm,
one of my internships that I did at Intel, he
mm.
was so inspiring because he's just constantly developing himself all the time. He's constantly working on something, even if it's like just a random project. He's just constantly solving problems. So that's what we want to see in people. That's what we want to learn from people. So yeah, I think it's very important to build your network.
Great, Surbi. Great, great. What about others? Like, can I have other responses as well? Like, I can see Chanvi, Renu, and I mean, everyone. Tanvi, Pragya, anyone?
Renu has put it in the chat.
I think I was just hoping someone else will speak. That's why I was uh, waiting for my turn. But I think even throughout the last session, what we really kind of concluded overall was that networking is one of the key skills, which it doesn't depend on your
Hmm.
background
Yeah,
or anything. Like you don't have to come from a you don't have to have all the knowledge you have, but you can have someone who has. For example, like I mean, in my company, as we grow through, I've been working for 3-4 years now, and even at this stage, because SAP is a private limited company, we don't study about SAP in colleges and schools, so it is
yeah.
obviously not something
Hmm.
that it is a coding skill or
Hmm.
JavaScript, for example, that you know
Hmm.
about it. But we know contacts who know certain things about SAP. So basically, all I've learned in last 3 years is the amount of networks and contacts I've built in my professional journey. The easier for me it is to sail through the project. Even at this stage, I'll say like I don't know A to Z of the whole project, but I do know A to Z of contacts who know something about or who can guide me to someone I know. So
Exactly.
that's important for me for networking.
Exactly. That's how you collaborate and you move forward with the opportunity. So that is super important when it comes to all this thing. That's why I elaborated that point. When you have someone in that contact, they might navigate you to the right person, or they can help you to build or whatever knowledge you want to. Just talk to them. Just have a conversation, and they will definitely guide you.
Yeah,
Once you have
either
a
they know or they will know someone who knows. So
exactly. That was my yeah. Step out of your comfort zone. You should meet new individuals. Will result that developing our social abilities and fearlessness. Okay. So what does it mean right now? LinkedIn gives this opportunity to have a e-meetup with a lot of potential people, right? Otherwise, before this, it was just limited to something where we can meet only physically. Having a network, having a proper legit network with people who are into basically when we meet offline, then only we can have a proper networking. Right now, LinkedIn gives that uh, opportunity. You can directly socialize with people from the social network only, right? So you don't have to go anywhere. Just simply just search them, You can simply search them. You can just get into, just connect with them and ask whatever you want. Just have a proper networking. So what it happens, it helps to build your communication skills. It helps you have a communication. It helps you build a communication skills, and also it will also teach you how to collaborate with people, because that is super important. It can it can open a lot of doors for you when it comes to building a strong network. So make sure you are focusing on the quality people who are working to build their own network. Giving you an example, suppose again, if you are into marketing, or if you are into finance. So suppose if you want to know how big four companies are working, or what are their secrets, in terms of, not secrets exactly, like what are the current things on which they are focusing. So you can just simply connect with their any senior level people, and they will be more than happy to help you in this. Just go with the short advice, and then later on you can ask your questions, maybe related to your projects, maybe related to other stuff. So in that way, even you can get some case studies or short term project with them, so you can get associated with them. So initially you need to step out of your comfort zone, so that you connect with the people and you get to know a lot of things about it, right? So career building. So it eventually helps you to build your career as well, in terms of leveraging those networks that will help you to build your own career, whether it's a job, whether it's having a business, whether it's understanding the business. It's gonna help you a lot. So I would love to know in the chats that what you are focusing on right now, whether you want to start your own business, or whether you want to get into the job or anything. I would love to know in the chat box, so that I understand, and according to that, I'll keep this session more customized. If there are a lot of entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, I'll speak more about entrepreneurship, or I'll go with the job stuff. So I'll tell you how to get the internships, or how to get your first clients, etc., etc.
Is
Anyone,
anyone what?
or
I can go ahead, but I think I'd like other people to first speak.
yeah, is everyone alive, or yeah, just giving the attendance?
I think if you guys want to, I think it'll be best, because then you can make the most of the session, because there are so many aspects to networking. We want to know which one you would like to focus on. I think from the previous session we can gather the fact that a lot of people are looking at job search. So a lot of people here are students looking for job opportunities. So how can they maximize that in terms of getting the best job they would like? Ida already gave a lot of few tips. So maybe building your brand, and how can you maximize job search to get jobs in big companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook.
Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. So when it comes to targeting these companies, make sure you are building something related to make sure you are adding some good projects in your portfolio. So you have something related to that, right? And when it comes to approaching them, don't approach any HR, because HR have there are tons of people who are going to who are approaching HR only, right? So they have, like, from senior level position to the from the job seekers. Everyone is approaching HR. So I feel you can do way more smarter. You can have a smarter move and better move than this. You approach people who are basically, if you are into technical, so approach a person who are into technical. Okay, don't directly approach HR. You approach the person with whom you want to work, like maybe HR, I mean, maybe into IT, or maybe into marketing head. So approach those guys, because nobody approached them, and eventually you are going to work under them only, right? So once they approve, then only HR will approve you. So if you network with them, like, a marketing guy or technical guy, if you network with them, if you have a good relation with them, then only you can ask them to refer you. So even HR's work will be much more easier, because now HR knows that this marketing guy knows how Google is working, or how the current job is working for him. So he or the HR will know that the HR will know that they understand the company's, the organization profile. So they are going to they are going to interview these people who have referred by this basically the tech this guy, uh, the marketing guy. So when they refer, HR will be more than happy to have them on board. So they will whatever, like if suppose 1,000 people are applying or 500 people or 100 people are applying, but HR will give priority to the technical guy's recommendation. Okay, so you are going to, if you are connected with this guy with the help of having a proper conversation, or you can ask them that related to your projects or related to anything related to that. So once you have a network, once you understand, yeah, there is some opening which is coming, so you just speak to them and you just tell them to refer. So in this way, you can eliminate lot of competition around you, because everyone is going to approach HR. Nobody is going to give a damn about this person. The main person with under whom you have to work. So if you impress them initially at very early stage, trust me, your chances are very becomes very high to get recruitment in the Google, Facebook, etc. But you have to be capable over there, because Google, Facebook are the big shot companies. So that's why I told you to build the portfolio, or maybe it can be related building your brand.
GitHub account for technical people. Like for
Yeah,
it depends on what you are doing. So if you're doing tech, GitHub is good. If you're doing
exactly,
design, then you obviously build a design portfolio with a website or
yeah,
something like that. So I
agreed.
think that's a great one. I think also if you have any student clubs or anything you're working with and their partner companies with that, you can find people in that partner company who already know you. That way they can actually refer you because they know your work, they've already seen
Hmm.
your work, and that happened in my case. So it is really helpful to have that kind of a network in which people already know your work and they can help you refer. Or,
Exactly. And even those, if you know around your network that some students have cracked Google or Google, Facebook from 2 or 3 tier colleges, not they are not from IITs or IIMs. Just giving you the Indian example. So you can ask them as well. How did they made it to Google, or how did it made it to Facebook? So even these students can help you. What kind of things they have done, and there are a lot of people, students who have written blog around this. In terms of internships, how they got the internship, or how they got the job. So you can just search for the blogs, or you can just have a conversation with them. So eventually, you're going to understand how they got the job, and you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing, and you can do better than them. In that way, you will get a lot of ideas. Yeah. So
I had a question before we move to the next one.
yeah, Tanvi.
The last slide which you just presented, it had a very good point which you made, that you should network and kind of try to impress the manager which you are going to be working under rather than the HR. But
Hmm.
for example, if I see a job listing, let's say software engineer at Google,
Hmm.
and the HR or the recruiter's name is written, so
Hmm.
I can search the recruiter's name directly and reach to her profile.
Hmm.
But if I just search software engineer at Google, I'll get like 100 other people, and I don't know which team exactly I'm going. So, what is your tip on how do I reach the manager which you're speaking about, like that exact team?
Yeah, so in that way, what I'll suggest is basically you go and search for the location one. So once you target any specific location, probably there you won't find 100 people. So maybe you will find 20 people. From 20 people, you approach 10 of them, 10 out of 2 people are going to respond. So in that way, you can simply get the reference, because anyway they are working in Google, they are on the same location. So once you start building a network with them, they are going to help you a lot. It doesn't matter whether you are going to join their team or not. That is super hard to figure it out. But
Yeah, like
eventually, you know that this is a specific location. There, these two guys are working. These two people are working, and with whom you can network and you can have a word with them related to the interview stuff and other things, right? You can just make your own podcast, and you can just ask this question: what are the things Google asks for the interview, right? So just make your own podcast just for that only. Just
yeah,
have
I mean,
some
like
content.
networking is definitely the key, but networking with the right people is also needed. Like
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
narrow down to people working at Google in that location, but that's what I was wondering. It's very difficult unless you have something extra to put to, narrow down to the exact manager I'll be working
Yeah,
down.
but not everyone is going to respond. Suppose if you know that this is the one person who is working in this particular project and they need someone, right? So
Yeah.
it is not sure that they are going to respond you. So you need to approach 20 people or 20, 30 people maybe. Out of them, 2 to 3 people will responding you very genuinely. Otherwise, they will just simply ignore your message. So you have to be very smart in this. Like there are tons of rejections you're gonna face. Giving you my example, when I was doing this technical internships, I did my 2 technical internships. After that, after that, I faced around 50 to 60 rejections. In terms of my application was not selected for to have the to get into this internships, but I refused to give up. I What I did is basically, as an engineer, we have this thing that we lack at soft skills, right? So I thought, why not to go with sales and marketing so that I can build my communication skills. From there, I started my journey, and then later on, I realized that I'm good with marketing and branding stuff. And I work with Harvard scholars later on, and I work with a lot of startups. So in this way, I got to know a lot of things. So in this way, you need to fall in love with your rejection part, and you need to understand how you can evaluate that. So that becomes a very important point.
I agree with that. Actually, it's like it's weird because I myself has interviewed with Google like 4 times and I got rejected 4 times. So rejections happen. So like even if they are reaching out to you and you didn't get, it's okay because you're constantly growing and you're constantly, you might get something which fits you, and it might not fit you initially, and you might just get something which actually feels like you can do it, and it's okay to get rejected. So even when you are getting a job interview, you can always reach out to people who are doing the same job. You can find it on LinkedIn, like just type software engineer at Google and there will be people coming up, and you just reach out to them. How is your day-to-day job? I have got this interview. What would be your tips? And 1 in 5 people will at least reply to you, like
Or you
one
can
in
just
five
have a conversation related to your project, or
Yeah,
something related to their field of expertise. So they will be more than happy because they feel like,
yeah,
they are the bigger ones and you are coming just to take the advice. And then
yeah,
later on, you can slip into that conversation very smartly.
yeah. I agree with that.
I mean, that's what I did when it comes to my or having this podcast. Initially, I have a good conversation, at least 3 to 4 speakers, and later on, I ask them for this,
So
right?
where is your podcast based? Is it on Spotify or is it on YouTube?
It was like live talk show. So I used to do that on Instagram back 3 4 months ago, but
Okay,
I am planning to start it again, but still I'm not able to because of my workload. But probably I'm going to start it again.
that's cool. That's very nice.
Yeah. So in terms of like coming to my slide, exchanging new ideas. So trust me, when it comes to having this exchange of ideas, it helps a lot to evaluate your own idea. Maybe there are some mistakes you have done, but when you speak to those relevant people who are into who belong to your same niche, they can guide you really well. Don't go to someone or don't take any advice who don't have that kind of a relevant exposure. Like giving an example, suppose there is one person who is not into business, who is not into entrepreneurship, and they are guiding you and they are telling you, this is wrong, this is not. So don't get into that false trap because they never get into this startup or they never get into this entrepreneurship, right? They don't have any business. So how they can guide you perfectly? So you have to make sure that when you are connecting, they have that relevant experience and exposure. In case if you want some advice from diverse people, like from different backgrounds, then only you can proceed with this. Otherwise, I don't recommend this. Make sure whenever you are having a conversation, you have to make sure that those people have relevant exposure on that particular field. Suppose giving an example, uh, again, if you're looking for a technical internship, don't approach marketing guy, don't approach any person from finance. You know,
Yeah,
that's a simple example which I
that's
can give.
like that is pretty obvious. But obviously, you can obviously reach out to them and connect to them, but you may not ask them because they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know
Exactly. In
the
terms of
person.
exchanging the ideas, because sometimes there are a lot of people who are going to give you a free advice which is not worth it. So you need to pick those which is worth
Also, for
taking.
internships, I feel that the project is always different. Like you wouldn't be working on something which the other person is probably working on. So you might probably like to showcase your skills and say that these are my skills. What do you think I should do next? How should I prepare for the interview or something like that?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Strength your contact. As I said, I have completed all this point specifically in terms of this. So you have a diverse network. Not go completely and approach. If you are into technical, then don't get into don't get today's. In fact, my today's post was about this only. So have a diverse network. Don't completely get into. Suppose if you are from technical background, so don't have a network which is completely based on technical. Have a diverse network. At least balance this 60-40 ratio, like 60% from your own field and 40% who are not from your field, but they are worth, their opinions or their advice are worth taking. Okay, they can be from anywhere. Suppose if you're launching a product, you should know, this is a technical perspective, like you are launching some technical product, but you should know how to market. So you are going to network with those people who are pretty good at marketing, or you can listen their podcast, you can ask them whatever you want. And suppose uh, if you are starting your own business, so you need a perspective from investor viewpoint as well, so you can ask them about this, so in that way you should have a diverse set of people who can help you to to pursue your career or to have your proper branding in terms of everything, so you understand every aspect of the field, because nowadays you have to be very versatile. You can just pick your one strength or one skill on which you need to work, but other aspects you should also know, so that you don't fall into any trap. Yeah. So opportunity to learn new business techniques. This is super important. When you network with people, you understand their perspective. You understand what are the new opportunities through which you can tap in. Maybe when I started networking with a lot of people, lot of investors when I started, so they have lot of ideas, but they don't have a right person to execute that idea. Maybe you're networking with someone who have around 10-20 years of experience, and what happened is basically they have few projects they want to, or maybe they have few case studies to prepare. You can help them, you can assist them, right? So sometimes you even don't know that they have the project. You just need to ask in the right manner, and you'll get few of the projects, right? Maybe they will pay you, or anything like that. Or suppose if you're approaching for a any abroad studies, right? You are approaching for your masters, so you can connect with those people. I mean, you can connect with the faculty over there, whoever is the professor. Just connect with them. You ask them to become a virtual assistant, like you become the virtual assistant for their work. So in this way you build a relation, so that you understand what kind of opportunities it can open for you, right? So make sure that you are leveraging those opportunities. So that is super important. Advantages of networking. So helping in growth of your organization with your colleagues and partners. So basically, if you're into job only, or if you're into this thing, so it helps you to build your build your impression, build your great impression. Because if you have a good network, if you have a bunch of people who support your idea, that becomes very important. So you can lead the team, whether you are having an internship, whether you are having a job, or whether you're into a college. Okay, so make sure you start leading with the help of, by leveraging a network. You can start leading your team. That is super important when it comes to having a leadership. Okay, and and in developing our business, you will get noticed and assist. So basically, here what I mean is basically that when you start having that legit network, you start leveraging their skills as well. You ask them, you get the right approach, and then you start executing that part, because that is super important, and then people will start noticing you. Okay, and try to have that kind of a attention, try to help other people as well. So networking doesn't work one sided. If they are having something, you just try to address them, or at least show some enthusiasm that you are willing to help them, whether you can't, whether you don't, or whether you can help them or not. Just show that you are happy to contribute towards your from your side. That becomes super important. Okay, and always share your knowledge, or always share your own opinion as well, because your perspective matters a lot. Don't drive one-sided conversation. Okay, just don't drive this yes or no thing conversation. Make sure you're giving your own opinion. Make sure you are having or giving your own perspective as well. That is super important. So in the audience, I would like love to know that what are the other advantages you would like to add in the networking part. Anyone? The chat box.
Headhunting is just a very, very advantage of networking. Like, you don't know when you're building your profile and you have a network, you can be getting opportunities because you have that. Like people would reach out to you more.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely. In this way, you can leverage your network as well, and even you can contribute something, right? So it's a two-way game. So you don't make sure that you are adding your own perspective, your thoughts as well. So yeah, how can you use the network effectively by choosing the right people? As I've said, set a goal. Don't go and blindly network with anyone. So you should have some proper research before approaching any person, any big shot player. You have to make sure that you are having a proper research. You are having a proper having a proper research about the person so that you can ask the right questions. Okay, you can't ask a technical guy a marketing question or about branding question, right? So make sure you are having a relevant question. Just giving you a very basic example. Okay. So create connection, leverage them because that is super important. Because that's what I did. I network with them, and then what I did is basically I started my own talk show. So in this way, I leverage their ideas, I leverage their values, and I made sure that people are also getting benefited out of it. So I involve other people as well, so that they understand what kind of mindset they have. So when people were more interested to listen their words, listen their the success story. So that becomes super important. Maintain the relation, that is important. Just make sure that after a month or after a week, just you stay in touch with them because that is super important. Like after once your work is done, don't be a ghost. Okay, so make sure you are staying in touch with them and you are having a proper network. Okay, and karma is everything. As I said, you have to give and take. So that's how your relationship is gonna nurture. So make sure you leverage that opportunity as well. Okay, keep your integrity, manage your projects, be positive. Okay, don't lose your confidence. You are not asking something for big. You are just asking for simple stuff related to your guidance, related to stuff. Because when somebody take advice from you, they feel superior. Okay, they feel superior than you. So that's how it goes. You just appreciate their work, you appreciate their whatever contribution they have done in their entire career, and then you proceed towards asking your question. So always appreciate their work, always appreciate their things, which whatever they have done in their entire uh, you know in their entire career. So that is super important. That's how you appreciate. That's how you take their advice and you give back to the people. Eventually, you are going to add something in their network as well. So make sure you add, don't be a ghost. Okay. Make sure you add something out of it because that becomes super important. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. If you have any questions related to this, I'll be happy to answer it. And this is this is my LinkedIn ID and my Instagram ID. This is bit complex when it comes to my Instagram ID. My jersey says Rishabh because I love football, so I kept in that way. But yeah, I'm still open to change my user ID if I find a good one. So that's it. That's all about me. You can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn, or else you can search Rishabh Singh TEDx. You'll find me on the first page itself. But if you want to drop any message, like Surbi did a smart, Surbi did a very smart move that she approached me on Instagram. Suppose if she would have approached me on LinkedIn, that becomes very tough job, to have the conversation because every day I receive 50 messages, 50 or 60 plus. So going through all of them becomes very complex for me. So if you want to ask any question, just go on Instagram. But if you want to learn more things, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. So whatever I give my insight, whatever mostly I talk about branding part, about personal branding and stuff. So you can definitely follow me on LinkedIn. But if you want to have a conversation, just ping me on Instagram. That works well. So this is all about me, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to take it forward.
Anyone having any?
Rishabh, what is the 6 a.m. club?
Okay. Related to 6 a.m. club, just give me a sec. I'm just saving the screenshot which I took. After that, I'll let this part. Yeah. Who asked that? 6 a.m. club?
I
And
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tanvi. So how did you figure it out about the 6 a.m.? Because right now I'm not writing anything on LinkedIn as well. So where did you?
Yeah, yeah. I am a good stalker or investigator, you might say. I just saw it in your Instagram bio, and I thought if you have put it in your bio, it should be something of
You
importance.
should, you should, you should, you should definitely. This is a very good skill. You should teach in the conference itself to other or to the audience, like how to stock the profile correctly, so even they can leverage it when it comes to building a network.
Yeah, I mean, just use it to your advantage. Everyone does it.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. You should. Even I stock profiles. Everyone does. So yeah. So when it comes to the 6 a.m. club, actually I started. I'm very much inclined towards giving back to the society and doing a lot of social initiative stuff. So back in December, I started the 6 a.m. club where every day at 6 a.m. Every day at 6 a.m. people come and they do the meditation part. And it's been 3 to 4 months, I guess, and everyone is coming over there at 6 a.m. They join this meditation session, and then we have like for 45 minutes or an hour, we do this meditation practice because I know there are people who are suffering from mental health or they're not in the right condition or in the right state. So I started this meditation with one more with a collaboration basically. So Deepak Sharma was there, so he taught me about the meditation and stuff. And later on, after 2 to 3 weeks, I started this initiative on LinkedIn. And there are a lot of people who joined. Like 40 people used to come in the morning at 6 a.m. and then we used to practice all this stuff, all
was
this thing.
this Instagram live or like what was your
No, it's
platform?
not an Instagram live. It's a Zoom. It's a
Okay,
Zoom. Yeah, because I need to know that what people are doing basically. If they are doing
correct.
wrong practices, it's gonna affect it negatively. So mental health ठीक करने के लिए कुछ और ही हो जाता. So I have to make sure that I'm guiding them in a right way.
So how
So
do you manage it? Like, for example, like what I am asking you from is that in COVID, this is just a good example, the 6 a.m. club. Like, if we start an initiative of our own, do you have, I don't know, WhatsApp groups, or do you have monthly
yeah,
meetings, or how do you keep in touch and manage it?
basically I have a WhatsApp group. I have a dedicated WhatsApp group where these people are there, and every day we do the 6 a.m. Every day we come at 6 and we practice. Like from Monday to Friday, we have this practice. Just what happened right now, I'm not promoting this group anymore. I'm just taking my time. Otherwise, like you can see 3 months before, all were maximum like 30 to 40% of my posts in a week was related to 6 a.m. because at that moment I used to promote a lot. What happened in this 2 months is 2 months ago, I lost my mentor. So he was the one. Along with him, I used to run. So his name is Deepak Sharma, and he worked as a CHRO at Fortune 100 companies. He was a speaker at MIT, University of London, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, Oxford University as well. So also for him, he practiced as a habit. He practiced meditation a lot. From 30 to 40 years, he have that kind of exposure. From the childhood itself, he was practicing this meditation, and he teach me about all this stuff. So I thought that if I'm getting so much of help, if I can see so much of improvement in myself, why not to scale it? So in that way, I started this initiative. Right now, I'm not promoting or taking any new batches as such. But suppose if it comes from any personal recommendation, I do tell them to join 6 a.m. in that way.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss, but it's a really good initiative, especially in these times with, how we are constantly behind the screens for 8 hours, 10 hours. So it does help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even I did the 3 day workshop for mental health. I collaborated with one of the psychologists from LinkedIn itself, and then for 3 day workshop I did with her, and there we addressed a lot of doubts. We teach them techniques and stuff. That was Instagram live, which I did related to this thing. Even during this COVID, when everyone at that moment in India we had this lack of oxygen, we have lack of bed in terms of this thing. So this community itself, I collaborate with a lot of communities around India, and we help people to have that to fulfill that requirement. So I guess at least from my end, I help 50 people.
I
They
mean,
will,
we also have uh, a day in the next few weekends where the speakers are aligned with mental health, because as and when we were categorizing speakers for the conference, we realized that most of us are working from home and mental health is something which we overlook quite often. So just shamelessly promoting it there. But
yeah, you should. I guess mental health is something where people sometimes people are not aware that they are suffering from mental health. But during this specifically during this entire pandemic, people understand the importance of mental health, and right now few organizations are also taking a step towards this. Like Google or Facebook gave the employment. I mean they offer the holiday, for the burnout and
we have
something
it.
like that. Yeah. So they did that. But right now in India, I guess people are working for like 10 hours. Like when I speak to my friends, they tell me that continuously they have to work 10 hours a week and something like that. So in India, few companies are doing that, but I would love if I see that these things are implemented on a larger scale. So mental health is something where people should be much more careful because it's gonna help you a lot. Uh, if you keep this thing healthy, or if you focus on this part like your brain or your mental health, it's eventually you will be able to balance your career in terms of like professional. You can keep the balance between your professional life and your personal life. So mental health is something on which no one should neglect.
Definitely. Yeah. Just from the people in the session, are there any questions? We are right on the clock, but if there are anything, please feel free to unmute.
I think I wanted to ask about how did you build your brand in terms of like the people, like how do you expand your network as actionable steps? Every day, what can you do to expand your network as actionable steps?
In terms of actionable steps, I feel you need to have something related to your niche. Like you select one niche and you start talking about it, but in a unique way. What I did, I introduced on LinkedIn, nobody was talking about movement marketing. If you see my post like 4 5 months ago, I was promoting heavily about movement marketing. I was talking how brands are promoting movement marketing. I think that
Is it about, sorry,
movement marketing,
movement marketing? Okay.
movement marketing. Yeah, you can search. Basically, what a brand used to do is basically what they did is whatever the trend is going on. Suppose any news or any current news or anything. So related to that, they used to have some humor content, and that they used to post on social media. Uh, so in this way, the movement marketing take place, right? So you can search or you can just check my 6 7 months ago ka post. You will understood that and you will understand that. So for me, that becomes my uniqueness in terms of building my brand. So I was talking about marketing, was talking about a lot of case studies. So that becomes my niche. Initially, I was not able to understand what I should write. So basically, I used to give my perspective on quotes or something like that. Because for me it was like every day I need to write something. Every day I want to go on LinkedIn and I want to write something. So I step out my comfort zone. I did that, and later on, once you start networking with people, once you understand what other people are doing, then it becomes more. Then you can map your own journey, right? So I map my own journey in terms of what kind of unique things which I can add. So maybe it was one of talk show which I started. It was related to movement marketing or something which you need to find something unique. Don't copy anyone's style. Have your unique flavor. That is super important. And every day you need to be super active. You engage with people. You go and engage with people. You appreciate their content or something like that. And then later on, suppose somebody have a good followers, or suppose somebody have a pretty good engagement on their post. So you ask them, or you have a proper set of questions like what are they doing, how they are doing. Maybe they won't tell the secret, but initially try to break the ice. Then you later on you can tell them. And you need to do a lot of experiments. So I did experiment with my post, like what are the best timings which is suiting for my post in terms of engagement, and how I can create more posts. So I did a lot of research around it. So every day I used to post. Then only I was able to scale my brand. Like sometimes I used to post 3 posts a day, sometimes twice. Even nowadays, I do a 2 posts a day. So in that way, I make sure that I'm feeding something to my network. They are consuming some valuable content, which is not related to my promotion and stuff. So I try to
Yeah,
add value, and
I
eventually they.
understand that now. I think that that's good. It's just I find it a little bit challenging to do that in terms of finding posts to put every day. But I think you're right because every day we find something motivation and we can put it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So giving you one tool related to this, let me share my screen. I'll tell you what which tool you can use to get ample of content ideas. I'm not sure whether you know this. Answer the public. Do you know this tool? No. Okay. Suppose I'm talking about personal branding, let's say. Okay. And now I want to know in India, where is India? Where is India? Let me check. Yeah, suppose in India, I want to know what people are searching about personal branding. What are the questions which basically they are searching? So the language is English, obviously. So I'm just searching what people are talking about. Like what are the searches people are doing related to personal branding. So now I have a pretty good content related to this, right? How personal branding works. Okay, so here also you can amplify your content ideas. How personal branding works for founders, how personal branding works for job seekers, how personal branding works for the student, right? So in this way, I have three content just from this question. So
Oh,
in this
that's
way, you
that's
can.
really nice.
So even you can like there are tons of questions. Why is personal branding is so important for job seekers for XYZ person? So eventually, you can just literally amplify one single question with a lot of content ideas, right? So again, yeah, here you can see personal branding is important. Why personal branding is important, something like that. Why personal branding is must active. Sometimes there are not relevant questions, but you need to see which one is relevant and how you can take it up, right? Personal branding for student, personal branding for college student. Example. So here you can just take 3 to 4 personalities and you can just have a case study of this, like how Gary Vee built his personal brand, or how Ronaldo or Messi build their personal brand other than their football pitch. I'm a football fan, so that's why I'm just giving that example, right? How personal brand on LinkedIn, how people can build their personal brand on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on other social media platforms, in that way, right? So now comparisons, what people are making the comparison, personal branding versus career development, right? So you can differ this apart, personal branding and leadership. So in that way, you will get to know a lot of things. And the best part is, suppose if you like this question, how personal branding is work, just select this, and you have tons of ideas.
That's really nice. That's a very nice tip. Thank you so much.
So you
I
will find
think
tons of ideas. Yeah.
I think that was a lot of different stuff. If anybody else wants to have any questions, I think you can just put it personally to Rishabh on Instagram or LinkedIn. I think Instagram would be better for him.
Yeah.
So
Shilby knows the secret.
yeah. So please, even if you have any other questions, just put it in the Discord server. We can put it to Rishabh. So thank you so much, Rishabh. We put this on YouTube so you can have a look at it, and we'll send you the link after. So thank you so much, everybody. We are going to take a little break, and I'll send an email about this as well. But we are going to start the session again at 2.
Perfect, perfect. So thank you so much, Shilby, for having me on board. Thanks, Tanvi, that you took very interesting question. I don't know about others what they were doing. So yeah, thanks a ton for having me on board. And
Thank you, Rishabh. Thank
really
you.
appreciate the way you are organizing this and making aware about how people should leverage the networking part. So great
Thank,
job, guys.
thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Rishabh.
Bye.
Bye. Um,
Um,
are we keeping the same meeting?
yeah, we're keeping the same meeting, but I think I'll end the meeting and we'll restart the meeting at 2. I think that would be better.
Um, can we just try if you leave and I can keep
Yeah,
the
let
same
me
meeting?
just try. Yeah.
Like I'll not cut it off then it would be easier for the rights.